Breaking news and update regarding Blake Lively extorting Taylor Swift.
Blake Lively tried to blackmail Taylor Swift.
I mean, this is so cruel. She threatened to publicly release 10 years of text messages.
Taylor has responded through her sources, through her PR.
Lively's courtroom meltdown turned into the legal drama we never knew we needed. A judge dismantled her claims using Taylor Swift's own evidence. Honestly, watching Blake's alleged plans fall apart this dramatically feels almost surreal.
Oh, we deny it, this isn't true, blah, 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 and of course.
Now she's desperately trying to protect her image. But let's be honest, this kind of public downfall isn't something you can just spin your way out of.
So they quickly responded to all the outlets, well, no, we deny it, this isn't true, blah, 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 and of course.
So today, Brian Freeman sent an affidavit to the judge, meaning that someone has sworn to him that the information they gave him about Taylor Swift is true. He goes into details of how he achieved this information.
Everything they said about Taylor Swift turns out to be real. He explained exactly how he got the information, and this time, Brian Freeman wasn't playing around. He submitted an affidavit supporting Taylor's claims with enough legal heft to make Blake's team seriously nervous.
Also accused Taylor of Blake of asking Taylor to delete text messages. This was the original letter that was sent by Brian Freeman. Well, Blake Lively's team was very quick to respond. I've never seen them respond so quick because this headline went everywhere.
What started as a minor legal clash has spiraled into utter chaos, featuring blackmail accusations, mysteriously vanished texts, and a judge who's clearly done with all the celebrity nonsense.
It's just like another level of what I thought was possible coming out of that camp.
And who's quietly influencing everything from the shadows? None other than Taylor Swift. Because when Taylor steps in, you know the situation's about to heat up fast.
That Blake Lively's lawyer allegedly threatened Taylor Swift and extorted her to release a public statement in support of Blake, or text messages would be released. They also accused Taylor of Blake of asking Taylor to delete text messages.
Blake is now being accused of trying to intimidate none other than Taylor Swift, and wait until you hear the plan.
Evidence. Meanwhile, it's not signed by Gottlieb. It's not signed, I swear by, this is false. It was signed by Ezra Hudson, a different lawyer, not from that firm, which was odd to me. It was a big red flag. Well, if you're going to come out so fiercely and deny it, maybe get the lawyer who's being accused to deny it themselves.
Expecting actual evidence? Blake seems to have none. Her plan centers around a decade's worth of private messages she's holding like a sword over Taylor, threatening to release them unless Taylor defends her publicly. Blake's courtroom. Chaos didn't just appear, it's been simmering since late 2024, and every detail only worsens the wreckage.
Attached here too, as Exhibit 1, is an affidavit executed under penalty of perjury, stating the factual basis for the statements set forth in my letter. Notably, the motion is not signed by Michael Gottlieb. I noticed that too, Brian Freeman.
In February 2025, Blake Lively allegedly played what she believed was her trump card.
If Miss Swift failed to do so, Miss Lively would release 10 years of private texts with Miss Swift. The individual also told me that they had been informed that Miss Baltridge had accused Mr. Gottlieb of extortion and ended the call.
Reports claim her attorney, Michael Gottel, reached out to Taylor Swift's team with a bold threat: back Blake publicly on social media, or face the release of 10 years worth of private texts. That's not strategy. That's total warfare.
On February 14th, 2025, I received a voicemail from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, whom I subsequently called back the same day. Out of respect for the individual in question, I am not identifying them at this time.
Taylor's team wasn't having it, not even a little.
During the February 14th phone call, which lasted approximately 1 hour, the speaker told me that they had been informed that J. Douglas Baldridge, counsel for Taylor Swift, and a partner at Venable, had received a phone call from Michael Gottlieb.
On February 14th, Freeman, Justin Baldwin's lawyer, filed an affidavit describing a voicemail he received that allegedly exposed Gottlieb's threats.
For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, during which Mr. Gottlieb requested, on Miss Lively's behalf, that Taylor Swift make a social media statement in support of Miss Lively, given her absence from the Super Bowl that year.
According to Freeman, someone close to Taylor spilled every detail, how Blake's side tried to coerce her. If true, it's easily one of the most desperate moves in recent Hollywood history.
Taylor Swift is declaring, I am nobody's dragon, girl. I am not your dragon. I've stayed quiet. I've stayed away. But girl, now that I'm getting dragged in this, you're about to get run over because I am not going to hold back.
Now it gets even wilder. Taylor didn't just brush off the threats. Her legal team reportedly labeled the entire thing as extortion.
During the same 14th call, the individual told me that they had been informed that 4 or 5 months earlier, Miss Lively had requested that Miss Swift delete her text messages with Miss Lively.
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Freeman's affidavit hit court like a bombshell, exposing Blake's alleged plots and her efforts to delete texts back in late 2024.
Not going to hold back. And I would bet you, all of this was like, well, you got to do that. You got to serve me. Yes, here's the tip, but you didn't hear it from us. You got to push it. You got to push it.
You had to push it, right? And in case you thought Taylor played it safe, think again.
I bet you there's a part of Taylor that's kind of like, yes, subpoena me.
Behind the scenes, there's strong buzz that Taylor wasn't passive. She actively collaborated with Justin Baldwin's legal team.
Something is put into this case, their go-to is to call everything a conspiracy theory. And they're refuting it completely and saying, listen, we didn't do this. It's totally false. And furthermore, everything that he put in there is irrelevant because he didn't even need to respond to the letter to the court.
Instead of diving into a messy public spat, Taylor's legal team worked quietly to gather proof supporting Baldwin's case, turning what seemed like an ambush into a perfect legal trap for Blake.
The court, even if it's not a motion, and if a counsel puts in a letter to the judge and says, listen, judge, this is going on in a different district, this is what we're doing.
Don't forget her boldest move, trying to force Taylor into becoming her PR shield. Spoiler, it exploded in her face. Meanwhile, Justin Baldwin, the guy too nice for Hollywood, was showing serious backbone while his lawyers turned into legal detectives. Each affidavit in motion broke down Blake's defense until it crumbled. This wasn't just defense anymore, it was a full-on strategic takedown. And Justin? He wasn't just surviving, he was dominating.
Breaking news and update regarding Blake Lively extorting Taylor Swift. Brian Freeman has just responded to Blake with a sworn affidavit.
Freeman's affidavit and that voicemail evidence prove Blake's not just in legal heat, she's torched every bit of goodwill she had in Hollywood. The irony? In trying to silence Taylor and smear Baldwin, Blake ended up at the heart of a scandal that's not fading anytime soon.
Do you get how big this is and how much this is exploding in Blake and Ryan's face? This is unreal.
With each week, it's clearer. Blake Lively's legal gamble didn't just flop. It might be the worst PR disaster of her entire career. Taylor stays untouchable. Justin rises above it. And Blake? She's learning the hard way that in Hollywood, the biggest dramas are often the ones you script yourself.
Did not ask the court to take any action, and her letter did not merit or warrant any response from Mr. Freeman, let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory in order to obtain communications from opposing counsel via a third party. Okay.
All right, let's get into the part where Taylor Swift calmly takes control like the chess master she is. Cool, collected, no sweat. While Blake was tossing out threats and demands, Taylor took a smarter, more chilled-out route.
I spoke about it, like, why is this subpoena from Taylor Swift important to Justin Baldoni? And here is my crazy take on this. I think that Taylor Swift kind of wanted to be subpoenaed.
No public rants or dramatic stories on Instagram. Word is she subtly stepped into Justin Baldwin's legal circles, with key cooperation. Quiet? Yes. But lethal.
Today, they had this headline saying Justin Baldoni's lawyer doubles down, claims Blake Lively pressured Taylor Swift for public support.
Wondering how we even know this. Cue the subpoenas. Taylor's law firm started receiving them like annoying messages from an ex, nonstop and impossible to ignore.
Claims of SH, then they would release personal text messages about Taylor Swift to the public.
The court demanded all sorts of communication records, and naturally, the gossip mill erupted. Was Taylor's camp actually spilling secrets? Were the deleted texts really gone, or just tucked away somewhere out of reach? The public leaned in, snacks ready.
Because if she has been pressured and blackmailed by Blake Lively since October, she is pissed off.
But here's the kicker. Taylor never fought back publicly. No viral statements, no interviews, no courtroom speeches. She let her legal team speak for her. That kind of calm strategy? It screams power. Why waste energy when your lawyers can quietly crush the other side?
How can this information get out there? The only way that could happen was if Brian Friedman subpoenaed Taylor Swift and she would fight the subpoena, and then voila, all this information can come out.
Taylor's subtle plan didn't just shield her, it elevated her. She revealed Blake's alleged games without ever saying a single word.
We know now he knew this already in February, so he was sitting on this information and he was probably thinking of a way that he could get it out to the public.
Now let's focus on Brian Freeman, the man behind the affidavit. This wasn't just paperwork. It was Hollywood's legal mic drop. Freeman's statement carried serious claims, signed under penalty of perjury. That's no regular form. It's a sworn declaration with major consequences.
Of the people out there, creators, all the people that have been digging into this, all the mommy sleuths that found things, have all of this together has created this moment when we starting to really see the truth there of what has happened.
Of course, court wasn't smooth sailing. Judge Lehman, who had to maintain order, wasn't impressed by what he called a PR circus pretending to be legal action. He quickly dismissed Freeman's affidavit, saying it wasn't in his jurisdiction, and called out the obvious media play. Classic judge move, bang the gavel. But even with the dismissal, the damage to Blake's image was already done.